non-business hour event. Yeah, but I'm gonna start sharing my slide and we can go from there. All right. Okay, so here we are, How to Thrive in College. Even this title seems very self-explanatory because everyone like has their own different paths. Everyone's doing a different major, minor, different career goals. But I definitely like no matter what, we're all like at Rutgers, and we're all struggling with similar and completely different situations. So like having a conversation that is able to maneuver around like difficult times and also implementing different strategies is going to be discussed. So I'm very happy about that. So here I am, Sabrina Gonzalez. I'm a graduating senior. I'm double majoring in history and political science. Kate is a junior majoring in political science and minoring in criminal justice. And the last one.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tanya Martinez. I am currently a junior, double majoring in political science and philosophy.
Awesome. And then we also have our panelists.
Hi, my name is Amanda Ketterer. I am a senior graduating this upcoming May in 2021. I'm a double major in political science and had a self-created major of urban sustainability and agriculture.
Yeah. And then if you guys would like, we can also talk about Amanda's second major, about how she exactly went through that, if you guys are interested. And Savannah?
Hey guys, I'm Savannah. I'm technically a junior this year, but I'm graduating early, trying to apply for a law school program. I'm a political science major. I'm on the volleyball team here at Rutgers, and yeah.
So another like great point added about being a student athlete, trying to like maneuver around clubs, sports, and also social and academic life as well. And Alexa?
All right, hey everyone, my name is Alexa. I'm currently a junior. I major in filmmaking and then double minor in English communications and political science.
Awesome. All right. And so I just wanted to point out like 3 major discussion points, prioritizing, staying organized and the importance of that, connecting with others on a social as well as a academic level. So, taking advantage of the amount of resources, including this program that Rutgers-Camden offers for, even just like socializing throughout this very social isolation time period, as well as like understanding the importance of like how social interactions are benefit for mental health as well, and as well as prioritizing sleep. Like it's very easy to stay up till 3 a.m. like I have done several times, but trying to make up for that in the next few days or even like the next night. But also understanding that sleep is very important, as well as self-care. So we're going to be talking more about that, as well as navigating this whole social college life. So developing a 4-year plan, taking advantage of this guideline structure of when internships will be taken, when programs will be taken advantage of, future courses, even for next semester, to outline with your academic advisor when exactly will I be graduating, just to have a more structured schedule. And as well as building an academic purpose. So, going throughout these 120 credits, like it's very easy to, I guess, in a sense, like lose this drive. But still understanding that like everything that I'm doing right now is definitely going to be worth it as soon as I receive that degree. Any questions? I know that was kind of fast, but I really want this to be more discussion based than PowerPoint based. Any questions? All right. And so a few of the questions that I outlined ahead of time are what are some resources that have helped you succeed in college, as well as any questions that attendees would like to ask as well. So we can start off with whoever wants to take it first with the first question.
I can go. So I think when I came into Rutgers, for the resources that I used, I was part of the success coach office, and I used the, I don't think she works there anymore. I kind of forgot her name, but it's been a while. But I definitely believe that even if you are like working for them or whatever, is a really good place to socialize with people that believe in success and know how to get successful in college, but also to have them as kind of your mentor and just talk to them easily. It's kind of like a counselor, but they're there like just for you, and they will do everything for you. So yeah, that's one of my resources that I used.
Anyone else? Or even attendees or anyone, what are some resources that you have used in college?
I mean, kind of cliche as a college student, but the library has been a lifesaver. The website, I do a lot of independent research, and the access you have with the Rutgers library is so much more extensive than I ever realized when I really delved into it. And also the advisors and the deans, who are the friendliest, most wonderful people I've ever met. Because of my double major, it's a little bit complicated. So I am in their email at least 3 times a week, and just corresponding, making sure everything is going well. When we were not in a pandemic, I used to bake them cookies as a thank you for putting up with me. But the in-person resources that honestly, even though we're doing this through a virtual world, is something I use weekly, if not daily. So definitely take advantage of that, and don't be shy to reach out and ask questions. It's what they're there for. I've never been so used to having constant guidance and attention with my education until I came to Rutgers. I'm a transfer student, so it's just a completely different world. We're really lucky with that. So for sure, your deans, advisors, and professors, they always have your back.
Really good point. And I believe like, yeah, at least for freshman and sophomore courses, like we have had several courses where we've attended the library as, a general overview of the amount of like resources they provide. And yeah, we're very fortunate to have very personalized librarians to help out with just about every single major that Rutgers offers, which is really amazing. And Michael, after we graduate, are we still allowed to like access the Rutgers Library database?
So broadly, the library is open to the public.
What about
your
database?
So after you graduate, you have, I might not have this down perfectly, but you have your access to your Scarlet Mail email address and NetID for a set period of time. I believe that you can request to have your Scarlet Mail extended indefinitely. I don't know if that in turn would carry over to like access, the NetID access to Paul Robeson Library. I think that's a really good question.
Yeah. I asked this question just because like even just doing like work research for any job, yeah, I've definitely taken advantage of the amount of like resources that the library databases you provide, which is very abundant. Like instead of having to pay like, a few dollars for a book or anything, like we have it online for free. It's great. And another question is, what are some ways you manage stress? So Alexa, do you want to answer that?
Really quickly, I did have one other resource because it's related to COVID, and especially working during the pandemic that I really wanted to point out to everyone. But these glasses, I got them for like I think $12, $15 on Amazon. They're really great because I get headaches from looking at the screen all day, and I wanted to just let everyone know they're on Amazon. They're like I think they're called blue light glasses. These are the glasses I'm supposed to wear that I always never wear. And so it's funny that I'm using these that I got from like Amazon. I paid like a lot more for those, and yeah, it's really great because you can like look at the screen all day and then I don't get the headache, and that's what it's worked for me. I know it's been an issue for a lot of people. I've seen on the app, I've tried to advertise, but I wanted to say it here. This is a really great resource. It is buying $12 to $15 glasses.
Also very fashionable. Like it's great.
I would like to add something if possible.
Yeah, of course.
A resource that was really important for me when I transferred into Rutgers was my advisor, Megan Burns. She was awesome. She helped me with everything. She helped me with things she didn't really have to help me with. And I just wanted to say that the advisor's office is very resourceful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really are.
And in the chat, people are talking about how the Career Center and the Writing Center are really helpful, especially if you're a freshman and you're looking to get involved or you're looking to get help or support. Those are really great places to go.
Yeah, really are. The Writing House is absolutely amazing. Really, it's, these like very well graded students that, provide as much edits as you need for any paper. And Alexa?
Okay, so yeah, for the first question, I agree with everyone. I've definitely used like all of these resources as well. And then to answer the second question, some ways that I manage stress personally, I think it's really important to talk to the people around you, like friends and family. And then, now that I'm part of the ILA student leader cohort group, I get to talk to them about whatever stresses I have going on as well. Mm-hmm. And then, taking like necessary breaks here and there. Sometimes it's hard because like I have like events and stuff very back to back, so I can't take a break at all. So like if I can't eat food, I'm always like, hey, to my sister, I'm like, can you please bring me food because like I need to eat. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are the things I'm going to say for now.
Sorry, what was that?
Those are just things I'm going to say for now.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. Is there anyone else that would want to like add their own like personalized way that they manage stress?
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
No, you go for it.
So I know like on campus, I'm going to do a campus one and then just right now during COVID. But one of the things that I do, and I think it's kind of, a lot of people don't particularly like doing it, but I think working out relieves a lot of stress for me. Especially just, I don't run, but like walk on the treadmill and stuff like that, get your mind off of things, do some lifting or something like that, get some anger out too. But yeah, so I used that. And then during COVID, I think I'm not hard on myself. When I get stressed, I kind of notice that, okay, I'm getting stressed. I need to stop being so hard on myself. I need to take a step back. I need to go do something that's fun for me. Like, I love taking a shower. That's like one of my biggest self-care things. So I'll go and like take a shower and then I'll come back and do something. So those are kind of some things that I do to like manage stress.
Yeah,
anyone else want to add something from that?
Yeah, that was actually something along the lines of what I was going to say. I was going to say, like finding your own way of working out, and that looks different for like a lot of people. Some people go to the gym and they just will run for like an hour. I saw Karina was in the chat. I once went to the gym with her and she was just like a great runner. I think I tried running with her for about 5 to 10 minutes and I was like, I'm embarrassing myself here. I'm just gonna go to the weights or whatever, because we all have our own format. And so, that's one way. I tend to do a combination of everything because I want to make sure I'm doing well with my cardio, my cardio and everything. But also just like went on a bike ride today, and that was just like really peaceful and nice. And like you sure you're exercising, but don't think about it like that. It was like it's like very peaceful. Maybe for like a stroll or like a walk somewhere. I mean, little things like that really do ease your mind, especially during COVID. We're all kind of just sitting and working on computers and stuff, and it's just, you know, going out, I think is good. You know, obviously be safe, wear your face mask and everything, but it's just making sure that you're trying to be active in one way or another.
I completely agree with that. I've realized, because I work from home, we're doing school from home, everything's from home. I like didn't leave my physical home for like 5 days. Like I just didn't go outside even to check the mailbox, you know what I mean? And so I kind of realized, you know, that kind of gets to you after a little while, even if, because you lose track of the days in this way. And so going outside and getting away from screens and being in nature, I'm kind of a big proponent of going to your local garden or just walking into your backyard if you have like green space nearby, or just walking down your block. It makes worlds of difference. And if you can't do that, and now that the chilly months are kind of coming, doing yoga and meditation, just stretching, getting your body moving, even if it's in like a way that you don't feel like you're getting a workout in, you're still getting blood flow, you're still centering yourself. I try to do that daily. That can be a little hard, especially when everyone has access to you 24 hours a day, your professors, your bosses, your family, your friends. So just kind of turning off for a little bit. Also getting something to take care of that does not have anything to do with your computer. Like get a house plant or something that you can really take care of and watch progress grow with it. It's something that I've done a little bit too much, and my desk looks like a jungle, but it's so fulfilling, and you actually see progress happening and life and time kind of going in a really sweet, wholesome way. So yeah,
Awesome.
that's the hippies take on it, but I don't work out. Sorry. I have no endurance for that.
Brad, do you have any recommendations for like at home, you know, just because like gyms are very restricted, and also like as Amanda said, like yeah, the weather is closing. So do you have any tips or anything like that? Natalie?
Oh, you're asking me? I was like, an open question. I was like, I hope I didn't hear you say my name. I'm sorry. So there's like tons of resources on YouTube. There's so many free workout videos. It's crazy. Like before the gyms opened back up, that was how I was getting my workout in. I really like this one channel.
Do you mind typing it in the chat?
Yeah. There's two really good ones. Pop Sugar Fitness is like it's like really fun. There's like dance workouts, and it just has like a lot of personality, and it's like super fun. But then if that's not really your thing, then there's also Fitness Blender, which is like it's not like, so Pop Sugar Fitness is like a class. Fitness Blender is just like one person. It's like silent. You can like play your own music. So those are my two big suggestions. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were asking me. I'm like,
I thought I said your name. Yeah. Awesome. And you know, we can keep going with the questions that like I have listed, as you know, we can also start it as just because we're kind of like reaching the halfway mark. Any questions, or even just like your, you know, stories as well. Like everyone has like their own personalized story of, you know, how exactly they manage these, you know, college years, you know, dealing with like social, you know, family, personal, like academic. So if anyone wants to like add a question, or, you know, something that like really has like made a huge impact on them, or even like program that, you know, is very unique to them, more than happy to, yeah, have you guys take it away.
Yeah, I can start because I don't know, I think it's really funny to look back now, but I remember whenever I first came to Rutgers-Camden. I'm originally from Arkansas, and so you know, it was like going to be a really big transition for me. I didn't know anyone. I only had my brother who I would like visit, and you know, and I got here, I was in Philly, I was like, oh, this is so exciting. And then I got to like Rutgers-Camden and I got to like meet my roommates and everything. I got to meet everyone. And I was like, wow, I really don't like it here. What did I do? Oh no, do I need to transfer? I was like freaking out because I was just like, what did I do? Like I should have just gone to that school. I should have just gone to Arkansas, like the University of Arkansas. Why did I take this risk? And I was freaking out. I was just like, because I was just so nervous. And I was like, why is everyone in Jersey so mean? Where like I was just so used to like the Southern, like, you know, kindness. And I was like, I was just so like, I don't know, like I would go to the station and people would like yell at me. And I'm like, what am I doing? And so I wasn't having a good time. and and yeah, I mean, it was just like the reality of what, like, I just had to make do with what I had. And I was very closed off to everyone because I was just like kind of internally freaking out, like all like for weeks on and weeks on. And so, yeah, like that was like my first few weeks in experience here. And it's so weird because my brother, he would tell me like on the weekends, because I would just go and visit him on the weekends. He was just like, I like having you here, but I think we're gonna have a talk about you needing to, like, I want to let you go and fly on your own. And I was like, what do you mean? He was just like, well, this is like the third weekend you're here. And I was like, I guess you're right. So I got involved on campus. I got involved with organizations and clubs, which I wanted to do anyways. It was just like, I was like trying to figure out which ones I wanted to like go to, which ones were drawing me in. Cause I was very, very focused on music in high school, but I really wanted to be more focused on advocacy because that was something I was really passionate about. I just didn't know where to like plug in, where to get involved. I was just kind of like figuring, like trying to do my own plan. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And yeah, it was interesting, but I think my like starting point was connecting with student organizations. I think that's how I finally got comfortable. That's when I met more people that were like me, more like-minded. And then I just got more comfortable and I just learned to appreciate and like people being so rude. I just learned to just like all of it. And I don't know, it just, now I like, this is like a second home to me. Like whenever I got back here, coming from Arkansas, like a few, like, well, it was like a month or so ago, it just felt like I was coming home. It was just like nice, you know, like driving through back to campus. And it was just like, I don't know, I just felt warm inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I'm from Arizona, and my thing is like I want to get out of here. I did not fit in, but I also had the resource of having volleyball as like one of the things that I was working towards. So that was like one of my biggest reasons why I went to Rutgers. Was I had two colleges that I was going to look at, Rutgers and then Caldwell University. I got the feel that Caldwell was just not good whatsoever. And this is different from Tanya, but like Rutgers-Camden, when I saw it, I was like, this is where I want to be. Like, this is what it is. But I think I did kind of like the reversal of Tanya, where I loved it at first, and then I kind of put myself in a little hole. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to hang out with my two friends. And if they don't want to do something, then I'm not going to do it or whatever. So I would be like kind of locked in. So I've noticed that like the last year or whatever, I've tried to kind of make more friends outwards. And I think ILA really kind of spread my horizon. Like I talk to Amanda all the time, even though I had her in a class before, I didn't talk to her, but now we text all the time. And then Alexa reached out to me when I was having some mental health issues. And then I know like a couple other class members that I have, like we talk a lot now. So even though some people think that maybe since we're so social distance, like I also see that, you know, I've been really thriving in making friends during this time. Does not mean that I want this to keep on going, but I do think it kind of opened my eyes that I have kind of shut myself into one little hole and I only hung out with certain people. But yeah, so that's my story.
Yeah, it's definitely very easy to like, you know, especially during this time period, to be very like socially isolated. But you know, programs like this that we offer, even like, you know, online resources, like it's very easy to be socially isolated, but then it also is very easily to be socially active as well. So it's really subjective to everyone. Even like this campus life, it really is subjective to everyone if you, you know, thrive in a very like large campus or if you want like a very like closed knit community. Yeah, really up to you. Anyone else want to like add any like resources or stories or anything like that? I know Amanda, like you have that yeah, like personalized major, which I think is fascinating.
You know what's funny? I had the complete opposite story of Tanya and Savannah because I grew up in Camden County my whole life, same block, same house, everything. And I was like, I'm getting out of here. I'm not going to be like my whole high school and go to Rutgers-Camden. I'm leaving. And I went to an out-of-state school in Virginia. And I hated it. It was so I didn't fit in very well. It was a completely different world than I was used to, my, you know, Philadelphia suburban bubble that's here. And for a lot of a cocktail of reasons, I actually was coming home to tell my parents I hated it. I hated my major, that I had switched 4 times in 1 semester. I hated everything about it. I wanted to come home. And my father actually passed away on my first day of spring break. And so I was like, yeah, I'm leaving. I'm coming home now. That was my big sign to come home. I did community college, and I still, even in my head, was like, I'm not going to Rutgers-Camden. Like, my sister goes there. For those of you who know Laura Ketterer, if I had curly hair, we're twins. We look the same. So I'm like, everyone's gonna think I'm Laura. Like, I don't want to go there. And I actually, the day it was between Rutgers-Camden and another school. And I met at the time the director of the Urban Studies Department, Dr. Wood, who was just, I mean, it was like the skies opened up and this man walked in because he knew what urban agriculture was. We were talking about hydroponic systems and food insecurity and my outreach work and like all these things that like whenever I would talk about that at my old university or even to my, you know, loving and supportive family, like it looks like I have like 6 heads. Like they have no clue what I'm talking about. And he was like, you know, we could really make a major around this. Like it sounds like you're really passionate about it. We have all the components. We could work with Rutgers New Brunswick and like let's make something happen here. And I took my mom to her hair appointment 20 minutes after that with my laptop, and I accepted to go to Rutgers-Camden right after meeting him. And it was the best decision I've ever made in my entire life. Rutgers-Camden it has been, even in this pandemic, such a blessing to both myself and my sister. Laura graduated with a double degree as well. They really made it happen. Oh, thank you for the claps. But you know, so this major, by the way, unbeknownst to me, I'm the first student from Rutgers-Camden to bridge the gap between Rutgers New Brunswick and Rutgers-Camden to do a major. They didn't tell me that when I signed up for that I was the guinea pig to do this. But I was able to create my own major, mixing the urban studies and political science courses of Camden with the food and ag systems of New Brunswick, and make this wonderful combined major. I got to name it. It was incredible. I did commute up to New Brunswick almost every day for a semester. You know, being on the turnpike at 6:30 in the morning is not something I recommend necessarily. You, Tanya, you want to talk about mean people yelling at you? I'll tell you what, my little Nissan was like doing her best going up, and the amount of people who were honking and like putting their high beams at me, I don't know what to tell you. I was already going like 80 and they were, you know, it wasn't good enough for them. But I will say, I mean, this major pairs very well with political science. I'm lucky enough that there's a lot of overlap, so there's not too much of a credit overload. But for those who are interested in doing that, I'm going to tell you, it's like having a part-time job, making sure all of this is put together, especially with networking with another, you know, university. Sometimes it feels like, you know, Rutgers is like New Brunswick, Newark, and Camden are like different worlds. You know, it's kind of hard to bring them together. But this has been an incredible experience. I'm lucky enough that this also opened up opportunities for me to meet Michael D'Italia, to start a community garden behind the Office of Civic Engagement, and really opened me up to people who I know I will be friends with for the rest of my life. Because as a commuter and a transfer student, it's hard to meet people, but there's so many people, even over Zoom, you can tell, who are just hungry for friendship and hungry for connection, and they want to talk. And Rutgers, yeah, right. Savannah and I text. When she says we text during, like, it can be about school or whatever, people's pets popping up on Zoom. Like, it's just a wonderful thing. And It's it's Rutgers-Camden was able to do this, and apparently not a lot of people do this combined major, but if you're passionate about something, why not? If you want to pursue this for the rest of your life, go for it. It's so exciting, and Rutgers-Camden makes it happen. So if I can get New Brunswick to sign off on this, I promise you can do this within Camden if you want to.
Mm-hmm. That brings up a really good point. Rutgers does have 3 campuses, and it's really amazing that like we have the available resources of basically just 3 different colleges with all the same name. It's very I guess like unique in a sense that it's very just how do I explain it, like Camden, New Brunswick, and Newark. We kind of just like, I guess in a very very like simple sense is that we just share a name. It's very hard to take courses at Newark or New Brunswick without completely transferring over. So it's very like a gray area of Rutgers that like isn't spoken about as much as it should be. So that definitely brings up a very important point. But as Amanda has shown, like it is a great opportunity to like have this combination of 2 campuses resources as well.
They have horses in New Brunswick. It's like on campus. Like it's like a completely different world. I don't even know what to say physically and otherwise, but it's fun to bridge the gap. So if you can, totally do it.
There you go, Patricia.
I love everything I'm hearing.
Awesome.
Yeah, like when you guys were talking about your advisors and how supportive they are, it's not like that here. They have so many students per one advisor that is never specific to you. They just want to get you out the door.
I understand. That's definitely one of the biggest things that like I noticed about Rutgers-Camden is that because we are like a very small community, that we are able to really engage and interact directly with our professors. Like it's very nice just to be able to go to the history department and see the amount of like professors that have open doors and actually like remember my name and remember like even the papers that like I've done for them like freshman year. Like it's very a very fortunate opportunity here at Rutgers-Camden for sure. I feel like I'm being like a sponsor. Like I'm not being paid. Like I'm paying.
But I transferred my senior year. No, yeah, I remember coming in like my freshman and sophomore year. I would have lecture halls that were like 500 people, so it was not personable at all. Like none of my professors knew me. When I went into office hours, they were like looked at me like they never saw me before, even though I sat like right in the front, but because they had so many students. But thankfully my major is very selective. I'm a social work major and our school is very small, so now like my classes are usually like less than 20 people, which I love because now I can actually make that connection with my professors and other students.
Yeah. Unless like anyone can like say otherwise, but I believe like the largest class I ever had was like a 101 like film class that was like 80 at max, and even then like it felt so small. But yeah, never 500. Like I believe that would be like one entire like I don't know like class or even like grade or something. But yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, I remember when people would like come in to take exams because nobody would ever really go to lecture, only when we had to take exams. And like some people would sit on the floor because there were just not enough seats. I was like, why would Rutgers do this? Never made sense to me, but
does anyone else want to, even Trish or Kanina? I'm sorry, how do you say your name? Karina,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Even so you want to like, or even Natalie, sorry. Do you guys want to like, add your story, add some of like your like triumphs through college? Or
I would. Sorry, what?
Any of the attendees, would you guys like to add your triumph through college?
Yeah, well, I think like I don't know, just like being in college is a triumph, I guess, because like my family hasn't really gone to college. So like just applying was really hard, like doing the FAFSA and all that. But like once like I got to like Rutgers-Camden and like I applied to be in the Bridging the Gap, I think that was like where I was like, yep, this is like the place for me. And Savannah was there too, actually.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just like that's where I met my mentor, who like I talk to like almost literally every single day. Like she's like my BFF. I love her. And I don't know, like nursing, it's just like everything was just so perfect. I don't think it would ever go like I don't think it could be ever as perfect as it is now. And like there's so many good people. Like you guys are like amazing. Like all the things you're doing, like making new majors, like, you know, I don't know. It's just every single one of you have something so special to bring. And like I just feel so lucky to like see that, like be a part of something like so awesome as this. And like, you know, it just gives me like motivation to keep going. So kudos to you guys.
Awesome. Michael, I believe like you probably know more about it, but the first generation program that is like personalized for students that, you know, are part of this like first generation of college students. And do you know more about that program?
So I don't work directly with the first gen program. Are you referring to the Bridging the Gap initiative, or I just want to make sure?
It's Trio, right? Trio is the
Trio is like works with first generation students, but Bridging the Gap was like its own program funded by the state, but they couldn't like fund it last year because they didn't have money. So yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to get a sense of which program we were talking about specifically.
Trio. Like I thought we had like a separate program like just for first generation, but I guess it's just with.
No, that is Trio. Like they do accept like first generation and like people who have like disabilities and stuff. Like that's like their like thing. But like Bridging the Gap was like its own separate thing from the state that like Rutgers like adopted and, you know, went through with it.
Yeah, as well as like what Patricia said, EOF, like yeah, definitely personalized to help out with first generation students that are, you know, trying to maneuver around this whole FAFSA. Or like my little sister like just submitted like her FAFSA like the other day, and it was just like, oh my god, like I remember when I was like dealing with this, like it was so like daunting. So it was very nice to like, you know, like calm her down of like, hey, like it's okay, like it's okay. But I completely understand. Like my older sister Tabitha was you know, the first generation in her family to go to college, so it was very it was nice that I wasn't, because I didn't have to like, you know, deal with all those like, you know, learning holes or anything like that. But it was, I don't know, it's just like it was, yeah, it's very hard, because at the same time, like no matter what, you're always gonna like have that sense of like, am I missing something? Am I like forgetting to do something? Am I like prepared for this? Like college is a big deal. Like, you know, doing this is a very big deal. So, you know, not to have someone that, you know, isn't experienced in this, you know, in a very like close knit community or anything like that. Like it's very like, who do I talk to? Who do I, you know, who should I, you know, go to for this problem? But yeah, very good point. And Trish, Patricia, or Natalie, do you guys also want to add your story as well?
I was just hearing Patricia talk about the class sizes at Rutgers, New Brunswick, and hearing that like the professors didn't even like know who you were or didn't, you know, have any kind of relationship with you, just made me think about how I have like basically every single professor I've ever had has made a very large impact on me, and I can say that the majority of the professors I've had I will probably remember for the rest of my life. Like they have all given me really good. Huh?
You provide an example?
Yeah, well, Sabrina, I can say that Gary Francione, I love Gary Francione. And let's think, even my like English comp professor, that was Andrea Quinn. I like really, Savannah, about Andrea or Gary Francione? Gary Francione, probably, if you're like a lol. Yeah, he's great. He's like my most recent example. And then a lot of professors in the social work program have been really great too. Carrie McGuire, who actually just moved to Vermont, which is very sad. And Jillian Murray. I've just had like such great professors who I've been very grateful that we have had relationships, and that I would hopefully they know who I am, because I know who all of they are and I speak very highly of them. So wow, that's really nice, Savannah. I'm not surprised that he would do that. he's a great, if anyone's interested in law, which I am not, but he taught an animal rights course, which I am interested in. And that's how I got to know Gary Francione. But I could talk about Gary Francione forever. But no, I just feel very lucky that I've been able to get information and they've all just impacted me in a lot of ways. So I'll remember a lot of my professors, like I said, like forever.
Yeah.
Patricia, just like you, I am a student at the Rutgers School of Social Work, but in Camden. And fortunately for me, I had amazing professors. Our classes, I mean, were small. Almost all of my classes were very intimate. And it's weird because I remember some professors, they knew me the first day of class. They were like, "Hi, Trisha." Well, I'm walking in and I'm thinking to myself, like, what? How does he know my name? And these professors ended up telling us later on in class that they were looking into the students that they were going to be getting. So you know how you take your Rutgers picture? So they were matching the names with the faces before the semester even started. So, you know, if you ever want to transfer over, Rutgers-Camden is great. Everyone in the social work program is amazing. Dr. Battle, Dr. Plummer. I mean, it's just an all around great school. And I'm just so thankful to be a social work student at Rutgers-Camden.
I feel like this is like turned into a.
Thank you for sharing. I feel like now you guys want me to transfer, but like
Like
this is senior year, guys. I only have one semester left. Now I wish I would have known when I was applying for college. It's like, oh my God, now I feel like I should have gone to Rutgers-Camden. Yeah. I feel like it's definitely, I hear a lot of like differences between the campuses. Everybody over there sounds more personable and nice. I think here is because since we have such a high amount of students, like professors are just always stressed and like usually not in a good mood. But I don't want to bad talk Rutgers, New York, New Brunswick. I do love it here. It's just very hard to navigate. And even though this is my senior year, I still feel like I kind of struggle to navigate it still, just because it's so much, so many resources, so many places that I could go. It's just, yeah. But I do know Dr. Battle. I actually had him as a professor, Trisha. And you said Dr. Plummer, right? I've also met her as well. They're very kind people. They definitely like reassured me that I'm in the right major. I've been wanting to be a social worker since I was like in middle school. So definitely like right hard for my major as well.
Awesome. And we do have a few more minutes left, and I would love if everyone would, like to say their own, what Michael said in the group chat of most significant tip or suggestion that you would give to a freshman or transfer student at Rutgers-Camden. If everyone can, answer that question, I would love for, that to happen. So if anyone wants to start it, or even Michael, if you want to start it.
So I would say, before this conversation, I was telling Sabrina about some mistakes that I made with my undergraduate career. It's so wonderful to hear everybody's perspectives, because I was just one of those students who like went to my classes, put my head down, and tried to like collect my degree as quickly as possible. And looking back, I realized that I missed out on a lot. And so I think my tip would just be, don't be afraid to take risks. One of the things that I love about Rutgers-Camden, and particularly our faculty, is their desire to support you no matter what. Like, Rutgers-Camden is a safe place to fail, because you've taken a risk, right? If you want to try something new and it doesn't work out, if you want to ask a particular type of question and you don't get the answer that you expect, like, this is a safe place to mess up and try again. And I think our faculty really buy into that idea. They're not trying to get you. They're trying to like teach you how to learn. And so take advantage of that. Like, put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to try something new. Don't be afraid if it gets messed up, because there's always the next day, the next step, and a community that's going to support you through the next iteration of your brilliant idea.
Really great points. Yeah. Anyone else want to
Take things one day at a time. One day at a time, and just focus on whatever needs to be done on that day. Because if you focus on what needs to be done on that day and every other day coming up, it's gonna drive you insane. So one day at a time, guys.
I totally agree with you. I was just talking to my dad about that yesterday. He's like, you should start studying for your NCLEX. You should start like thinking about grad school. I'm like, whoa, like relax. Like that stresses me out. Like stop doing that. I don't know. Like I feel like sometimes family members just like don't understand, especially if like they haven't gone through college and like they like stress you out and like you want to make them proud, you know? But like you also have to like set like, you know, stages like, okay, I'm just trying to survive this week. I'm not thinking about like 5 years in the future. So yeah, and like I think to like a piece of advice for like a transfer student, like a first year, like I would try to like find a mentor as like soon as you can, or like Trio, like they're very accepting. Scarlet Scholars, like they accept everyone. And like I was like a Scarlet Scholar for like a while, like probably my first year and a half. And like my mentor was so great. He was like always there for me. He's like texting me like on whatever like chat thing they use. I was like, oh yes, I'm good, thanks. And try to like join a club or two, like don't isolate yourself. And yeah.
I was gonna like add to that, that just to like get out of your comfort zone. I think Michael touched on it a bit, but like I think just being conscious of that, because I think, I don't know if Karina, if you were in there when and I was talking about my experience in when I was first in college or whatever, but it was like people like Karina that were really pulling me out. And I think she described it to me later on about like, oh, like getting her out of her shell, because I was like really nervous and I was just really much like isolating myself because I was like not really liking the school and everything. And so get out of your comfort zone. I think is the biggest tip I could give, is just like put yourself out there or do something, or just even little by little. Like if that means even something as small as, you know, going to a teacher's office hours, and just, you know, developing whatever interest that you may have for a certain subject, going in and just having that conversation with a professor. I think that at first can feel intimidating. And so, you know, just like little by little, you can just keep making yourself uncomfortable, because that's how you really grow.
Totally agree with that. Yeah.
I completely agree with that. And also, one, Google Calendar is your friend. That has saved my butt so many times from missing classes or meetings or whatever. Two, be kind to yourself. It's okay to make mistakes, especially with how we're doing college now. I think that there's a lot of expectation that can be put on college students, especially if you're a first generation college student, or if you're like the only child and you're, you know, going in, and parents or your family friends can have expectations that could do one of two things: inspire you to do something you never thought of doing before, or steer you in the wrong direction completely. And if your gut is telling you it's not for you, that's okay. And you can take a minute to figure it out. You don't have to have it all together all at once. And for transfer students, just keep yourself as open as possible. I really did walk into Rutgers-Camden being like, I'm in it for the degree, nothing else. I'm never going to talk to anyone. And I have made the most incredible friends. Josefina, who is on the ILA with us all, is not only one of my best friends now, but she's also my coworker. We work at the same nonprofit together. And you never know who you're going to meet, both through a mentor or a friend or a partner. It's just, I don't know if college is the best time of your lives, because I'm always stressed and tired and cranky. So I hope this isn't the peak of my life, but the people you surround yourself with, both mentors and the professors and your friends, they're going to go with you after you graduate. You know, you just after you get that piece of paper that says, you know, what you're talking about after 4 years or 5 years of studying it, doesn't mean you're never going to talk to these people again. So be sure to, you know, network and be friendly with everybody.
Yeah, I want to add to that with the Google Calendar. I would say like time management is one of the biggest key factors in being successful in college. I've noticed so many first year student or like just freshman year just come in at the same time as I did, and I think it was just my stress level already, but you know, I was pushed to just, you know, have a planner. I have like 3 now, but I have a planner, and there were people that would get really bad grades in classes because they would not turn in assignments that they didn't know was due, or they didn't just do the assignments because, oh, it's already past due, I can't do it right now or whatever. But I think knowing what you have due and creating a big, huge schedule and stuff like that not only helps with just getting things done, but also telling people the word no when you know you have too much on your plate. I know we talk a lot about that in ILA with, you know, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, or whatever. And there's some times where you just have to say no. But if you don't particularly know what your schedule is right offhand, then it could just be like an easy yes because you believe that you can do it. And most people do it, but it's very stressful. And then I also wanted to touch on real quick, like I feel the way that Karina does about being overwhelmed, like her dad trying to overwhelm her about different tests and stuff like that to get through grad school and stuff. And I'm graduating early, so I had to push myself a little farther. And so I had to take the LSAT in the next month. And right now, if it's not something that I've already like applied to or something like ILA class and just me as a person, I'm not doing it. I've just told myself like, this is what I'm going to do. And after November 14th, you can talk to me. So I think that's kind of like what it is. And I literally like feel so overwhelmed that I was questioning if I should even be doing this. And like, should I really do the LSAT? Should I just not do this? But I definitely just had to sit myself down and be like, maybe I should just say no and just go with the flow like that. But yeah.
Really, really great points. And then I noticed, Natalie, your mic was off. Did you also want to add something?
I just kind of like everyone kind of touched on this, but I just feel like to like balance is just like the word, right? Like everybody has different priorities, and different priorities are going to be higher on the list or lower on the list, and that's okay. Like one day it may be more important for you to see your friends, and one day it may be more important for you to like sit down and like do the work that's due in a couple of days or something. Like you just need to, it's really important to balance your life however that is for you, right? Because it's going to be different for different people, but I just think balancing your priorities is so important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really, really great point. So we're, reaching the end right now, but I just want to say that everyone's way of thriving in college is very subjective. So if you want to, be a student athlete, engage directly with your professors, do as many clubs as you possibly can. Like it's very, very subjective. But the biggest takeaway that I hope you guys, understand is that Rutgers is here to support you. Programs like this are here to support you in any way that we possibly can. And, as Michael can say himself, like we're more than happy to, help in any way we can. Like this is not like, you're not going through this alone, as Michael has said several times to myself and, probably to everyone here as well. But yeah, I appreciate everyone for engaging in this conversation and for everyone being here as well.